I got 99 herblore in real life, but I think it's time to get it in a game. Ooh, piece of candy. Piece of candy. Ooh, there's a piece of candy. Oh my lord. Is that... a piece of candy. Welcome to episode 1 of my Ironman series. I am Darth Microtransaction. I've been playing RuneScape since approximately late 2001, early 2002, and I'm a huge fan of the game. Obviously, this video is going to be about old school RuneScape, and I have made a new Ironman. If you're not familiar with what Ironman or what RuneScape is, here is the game. RuneScape is essentially a MMORPG, an older style game with open world elements, questing, everything you love in a good MMORPG. The thing that really sets it unique is over here on this side, you're going to notice a big list of skills. These skills go between level 1 and 99 and gets more difficult to train as they go higher. Everything from fishing to combat to prayer to construction to build your own house. I love this game. I'm going to do my best for the people that do not know what they're watching to be able to watch this series regardless. So as we go through the game, I'm going to explain to those who are maybe not familiar with RuneScape what exactly is happening, how it's going to benefit me on my account, and give you some commentary so you can enjoy this series regardless of if you're a old-time veteran looking to watch some new content or somebody who is just started the game or doesn't even want to play the game at all but just wants to watch my content. I'm going to try to appeal to all of you. The very first thing we're going to want to do is have a plan. Without a plan, we're going to have no sense of accomplishment. We're going to have no sense of a goalpost. We won't know what we're doing. So let's establish some kind of long-term goal now for myself and for the viewer's benefit. I think a good first goal would be complete the Dragon Slayer quest. That is the most classic old school RuneScape quest. If we click on it here, it says I can start this quest by speaking to the Guildmaster in the Champions Guild. Now, in order to get into the Champions Guild, we're going to need a certain amount of quest points. I believe it's 32 if I remember correctly. And for that reason, we only have 3 quest points. We're going to need to go down and do some quests. So that is going to have to happen. That means the Dragon Slayer is going to be our long-term goal, is we're going to need to acquire a minimum of 29 more quest points before we can begin on that. So that's going to take a bit. It's probably going to take a couple of days. We're going to need to do a bunch of quests. It's going to be a lot of content. For right now, we need an immediate goal. And I've already thought about it for a while, and I know what that is. Now, the agility skill is right here. The agility skill is going to let you do a lot of things. It's going to let you take a lot of shortcuts. It's also going to let you use a bunch of different rooftop courses for continuing to train agility, let you get into some other areas you couldn't get into otherwise. But on top of that, the shortcuts are kind of nice, to be honest. But on top of that, the most important reason we're going to be using it is it gives us something called Marks of Grace right here. As we're doing the rooftop courses, we can find them. They're on the ground like little pieces of candy. And when we pick them up, if we get a certain amount of them, we can trade them basically at a shop. It's like 35 of them. You can get the gloves. I think it's like 40 of them. You get the chess player. Maybe it's 60 or something, etc. So you pick them up. It's a currency, and you can buy gear. Now, the gear you get, what it does is it's something very unique. If you have this set, it gives you a bonus to how quickly your run energy gets restored. You can see me running, but you don't always have energy. It does deplete as you use it. But if you have that set, it regenerates quicker. On top of that, it also reduces your weight, so you don't use it as much. Ooh, speaking of piece of candy, ooh, there's a piece of candy. Also, if you're wondering why this is red and sometimes green, I'm using the Rune Light. Rune Light is a third-party client that is 100% legal. The company Jagex, who owns RuneScape, has said it's legal to use. And what it does is it just gives you a little bit nicer user interface. So it says, hey, click here. Normally, I would have to click here to do the jump, but it wouldn't have this green square. So that just kind of makes it a little bit easier while I'm doing that. Now, when it turns red, that means there's one of those marks available. So I know if there's red, look on the ground, because I can probably pick up another mark unless it's just going to despawn if I took too long. That's because items do despawn if they're on the ground for too long. So this is probably a lot of really basic information. This first video, the first couple might have some real basic information in it just to help keep up my subscribers or fan base from people that maybe don't play this game up to speed, some basic mechanics. And once we get to like the third or fourth video, by then we'll really be to the point where we'll all be up to speed. We're familiar with what's going on, and I can talk like we're all on the same page. Also, another kind of a long-term goal that will probably be the one after Dragon Slayer if you look at this quest right here called Animal Magnetism, I have to beat these quests, and I need 30 range, 18 Slayer, 19 Crafting, and 35 Woodcutting for it. But this quest, when fully completed, gives you a backpack that when you're like shooting your bow and arrow, it recovers your arrows for you automatically, and that's a pretty big deal, to be honest. Plus, it gives you some really nice bonuses too for stats wise. So, personally, I would really like to get the Animal Magnetism quest done. And some of the prerequisites are some easier quests, like Ernest the Chicken, for instance. So we do have some easier quests that will double dip because we need quest points, but we also kind of want to do Animal Magnetism. So I'm going to keep that in mind while I am going through and accomplishing quests later. Something else that's probably going to be important is these diaries. These are achievement diaries. You can go through and based upon location, like the different townships, for instance, you can do different things around there in very varying difficulty that will give you rewards based upon if you fully complete them. So if I do the Argon easy, which it requires some quests and a few difficult things, but not too bad, it will give me a cape, which allows me to teleport infinite times to the monk monastery over by Argon. Now, if you see where I'm way over here, okay? Now, the Argon is way over here where let's see, where is it? Where is it? It lets me teleport to here, right there. This is the monastery, see right there. So it could let me teleport all the way across the map infinite times, and that can be really, really important since I can't really buy teleports from the market since I have to do everything myself as an Ironman. You know, this is kind of making me realize, like, as I'm thinking about the fact that I'm going to have to slowly pick up everything myself, it's making me realize that our first mission, which is to do the Dragon Slayer, when we fight the dragon, we're going to need some things. One, we're going to have to be strong enough physically. So attack, strength, defenses, we're going to have to go get levels on that. The other thing is we're going to need good enough food. Food is what heals you. So if you eat like a piece of bread, it heals you like 3, for instance, whereas a lobster would heal you like 12. Now, in order to get a lobster, we would have to go fish and catch a lobster and then have the cooking level to cook it. So while I'm sitting here going through training my agility for the long plan, picking up these marks for the armor I'm telling you guys about, the agility armor, I still am thinking that we're probably going to have to go train some other skills as well. We might have to make some progress on things like fishing and cooking so that we can get our hands on some food. Not only that, but on top of it, we're going to need wood cutting as well, as that's a requirement for one of the quests that we're going to need to do. So I think as soon as we hit 50 agility, right now I'm going to run the 17 more laps of this, which is what it says I need for the next level. And then I'm going to go start working on some of the more basic skills like fishing, cooking, and try to get some food stockpile, I think. Maybe even work on some wood cutting because these are all going to be necessary. All right, we're down to just 10 laps to go to hit that 50 agility. All right, I'm ready to mix it up, man. I've been doing this agility just a minute now. Also, I'm going to give away 10 mil GP to a random winner. So leave a like, leave a comment, and say Cosmic Banana, so I know you made it this long. I was on top of the rooftops, and an evil Bob random happened. Random events can happen to you, and then you need to go through and like do a task, and you get a little reward from it. And here we go. And I gotta find this guy. Okay, so wait for it. That one. All right. No. Oh, no. Let's get out of here. Finally. Hey, we got a present. What we get? We got, 6 grimy toad flax. I actually think that's good. Herblore is something that is difficult to train, and that's really good. Okay, awesome. Wow, would you look at that? All right, here we go. Finally, we are just about to hit the 50 agility, man. This took a lot longer than I was thinking, but I was like, I'm going to sit down, grind it out, and get the 50 agility no matter how long it takes, because that's got to be man, I'm just butchering my words here. The best move for the first thing right in the beginning, and this jump should do it. Oh, not this one. Never mind. The next one, the Harry Potter on the stick here. There we go. And there it is, 50 agility. We can now do the Falador course. Okay, we teleported back to Lumbridge, because what we're going to do now is I think I'm going to work on my fishing a little bit, because I don't really have any way of providing myself with food, to heal with. I would only be able to like buy it really from a few of the stores that are around, and they don't really have food that's going to be good for a higher level. So if I want to be able to do the Dragon Slayer in that, long story short, I'm probably going to need to be able to catch my own fish. So there is a free small net here, and I'm going to do some fishing for a little bit, get myself some shrimp. My fishing level is 1, so it should fly up pretty quick. I think the goal is to try to get towards 40. That way we can catch lobsters at 40, and lobsters are kind of a decent food. But if we can get to like the 20, 30 range also, what we could do is get some feathers from chickens and get a fishing pole, and we could just go fly fishing over near the barbarian village and get some salmon and some trout, which can be some decent mid-level food. He was, 7, 8, right around there. And that should keep us healthy enough, at least until we get to the lobsters.